Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy New Year. This is the first video, apart from the announcement video, which I actually filmed before New Year, of 2026. And today I thought I'm going to be doing the next 6 stages, stages 45 to 50 at the Fanhome release, and build the Spider-Man Iron Spider armor.
Swinging high above the streets at night, iron glints in moon soft light, spider threads laced with steel, in his suit he feels ideal.
So I didn't really have any intention of doing a video today. As a matter of fact, today I should still be in Scotland, but I did cut my holiday early by a day because apparently the snow last night in Scotland was really bad. And I think it was probably the best choice because obviously I'm in Corby today and it snowed last night. So it's just full of snow outside at the moment. So I think I made the right decision coming back a day early. And I did want to get back onto things because I am getting a bit itchy about just building things again, which I really want to do. I don't know what we're doing today. I haven't even looked at this. I do have quite a few builds of things that I need to do. So I thought it's a good way to actually just get back into the swing of things. Now, I hope you really enjoyed my announcement yesterday. I am just over the moon, and I just want to thank each and every one of you, not only for all the support over Christmas and last year, but for all the kind messages of support for our news that I'm gonna be a granddad. I tell you, I keep saying it. I keep saying it to myself, and I'm like, I'm 52. I'm gonna be a granddad. I don't know, crazy stuff. But the baby's due on my birthday. Can you believe that? I don't know. Anyway. Stages 45 to 50. If you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. And there's also that QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So, can I still do this? It's been too long since I've built anything. So, oh, this is going to be good. Okay, so we're still working on the back here. So you see I've got some sections here. Now, they have got some H-bolts for us. Now, they did give us an Allen key in this pack. So, we've got an Allen key here. Guessing we're going to be needing that, and we're going to be putting all of this together just like this. Now it looks like we're working on the back section. This is where we're up to. Obviously we have done the front, which looks like that. Here's the back, which looks like that. Very heavy. So we're going to put this together just like that. This is the rest of the magazine. So here we go, stage 45. This is where it all starts, and the way this is going to go together, these two pieces here just over the top, just like that. That was good. It says do not proceed without positioning this nut. So I'm guessing I need to put a nut in here. So the nut's actually square. So I'm going to just drop that in there like that. So now when I put this over the top, obviously they wanted you to do it first because you won't be able to get that till afterwards. Now I'll just gently lie that down because we do have these hex bolts here, and we've got these sort of like crimp washers that are going to go over the top like that. The way this works is I'm going to drop one of these nuts in here, one of these square nuts, not the easiest things to get in, just like that, but I'm holding them in from the other side over here. Now obviously we do have a nut trapped between these two sections which I just put in, but we don't actually put anything in that one yet. But I am just going to use this Allen key that they provided just to make that nice and tight. As a matter of fact, for me, I've got a wow stick, so I'm going to make short work of that by using my wow stick. So this is going in 3 places. So I just need to make sure I put one of these hex bolts with a crimp washer on all of these. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to be taking what we've created here and what we created in the last pack, and we're going to now put these 2 parts together. So quite simply, this is just going to go on top of this section like that. It's going to be the same way. So if I just turn this over, you'll see that we've got the holes here for nuts to go in, these square parts here. Just drop these in, turn it over, and then once again, this is going to be held in from the other side. Once I've got one in, it's going to make it a little bit easier because it's going to hold all of that together. And basically these are going to go in everywhere we can see a square indent here. So that's the 3 in the middle, and we've just got 2 just here and here. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. Now we've got some black screws here. Gonna need that next because I need to put a black screw just into this edge here. Now these are E screws. Okay, all we're going to do then is we're going to take the last of these nuts and I'm going to be putting these into these side pieces just here. These are quite hard to maneuver into position so that they can fit flat in there. Don't know why I struggle so much with that. Once they're in there like that, I'm going to be taking one of these brackets that looks like that, and that's going to be going over the top with the open side facing out here. And then once again with one of these black screws, I'm going to be putting that just down the middle there to hold those nuts into place. And do the same on the other side. Take the bracket, put that over the top, and then a black screw to hold that into place too. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Quite a busy stage, that one. Okay, stage 46. Here's the instructions. Couple of panels here. Again, lots of screws. We've got some magnets this time as well. Putting these together, putting these inside the magnets, and then putting this again on what we've just created, as you can see there. Here's the rest of the magazine. And here is stage 46. Okay, so we've got these two parts of trim at the moment, which we're going to be piecing together. And I'm going to want to put these together just like this. This is going over the top to hold these two in like this. Now these are going to be held in with E screws. Now out the two lots of black screws we get in this one, the E screws are the ones with the rounded heads. There's other black screws which have got flat heads. They're not E. In fact, the flat-headed black screws, which I'm just going to get now, which look like this, are actually going to go in the magnets. Now, these are the magnets here, and they do have an indent on them. So if I take one out, as you can see, one side is indented like that. And that's for this flathead screw. Put that through the top, which is going to be probably easier to do just with your fingers. There we go. Now I've loaded this up on the screwdriver because we're going to be putting this into position now. So what we need to do is bring over this that we've been working on here. And the first one's going to be going into here, just into the indent on this side, just like this. Now in the instructions, they've actually got this panel in here. I don't think they've asked us to fit that yet. I don't remember them asking us to fit that, but I've got it here. So I'm going to put mine in because they've got theirs in. So we've got 4 of these to put in on this side. And then I'm guessing we've got the same on the other side. It's just going to be symmetrical. It's the last one just going into this side here. So if we look on the top camera, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to do exactly the same on the other side. And there you go. There's the last one just going in here. Perfect. So I then get to take this top section that we just created and put that into place. Just on there like that. Turn it over. And it's going to be held into place with 14s black screws. These are the E screws. So it's going to be 7 each side. So let's see if I can figure out where these go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 each side. Remember the ones down the bottom here as well? They might be missed. And also there's ones right over the far side over here. And then finally we do have one through this hole here. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to do exactly the same on the other side. Just noticed on the other side, where we had the hole to put one in there, there isn't one on the other side. By the look of it, on the other side, we do have just this extra one here that makes up for that. There is one just on the edge on this side here. There you go. But they are all in. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Typical. They've taken this out now. They haven't got this in. So I've just put it in, but then they've taken it out. I'm hoping I can still get that out. I think I can. If I poke something through here, I'll be able to get that out. So, stage 47. Here's the instructions. A couple of plates here. We're doing the leg supports. Putting this in just like this. This is the rest of the magazine. The last few stages of this pack seem very heavy. Lots of metal, that means, as you can see. Okay, first section I need is this plastic section here. We're going to be dropping some nuts into here. Basically just into the square areas here, so one there. Again, I always struggle getting these in flat. And then just one in this side, like that. Then I have a bracket which is going to go over the top of these, and that's going to hold them into place. And I'm holding that in with one of the black screws. This is the E screw, just through the centre here. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with two nuts that we've got that are going to go into this recess here. There you go, they're in. And once again, I've got a bracket here which is going to go over the top of both of those to keep them in, held in, once again, with an E screw. And with that done, nice quick stage, that's all there is to do. In stage 48, here is the magazine. Loads of parts here. It looks like we've got some joints as well, which we're going to start building up, looking like this. Wow, that's pretty impressive. And here's the rest of the magazine. This looks very involved. Now, every single part in here, I think, apart from these, is metal. As you can hear, very heavy metal. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open these bolts up. We've got two kinds of hex bolts here. We've got small ones and we've got large ones. We want the small ones first, not the large ones. Put a slip washer over the top. And then what I've got here is these two brackets which are going to have these joints going in. They're calling these shock absorbers, but I think they are joints. They're going to go in this way. So one on this side, one on this side. They're actually going to be held in from the other side. So I'm going to turn it over, and I've got 4 screws with split washers to put these in to hold this into place. So as you can see, that's one done in place like that. These wow sticks, just so you know, are available in my Amazon store. If you follow my link tree, all the links are on there. Perfect. So they're both done. Now we're going to create these. I guess these are the shock absorbers. What we're going to do first is we've got some magnets, and they are strong. They're like neodymium. You see, you've got a beveled side here. We want to make sure that one goes down. So the beveled side first into here, just like that. Then I've got this little plastic chute, which is going to go on top, just like that. You want to make sure it's the thin end that's out here, because what's going to happen now is that this is going to go on here. Now what we need to do is when we put this on, we need to make sure that this stop that we've got here is on the same size as the opening here, which it is. Now what I'm going to need, if I just put that down, is now these J bolts. I'm going to need 4 of these bolts again to secure this into place. I'm going to do that on both of these. So it's very clever how this works, because obviously the magnet's up here now, so that's going to be attracting something, but that's how that should look. Let me just do the same on this one again, making sure that the stop on this is on the same side as the opening on the bracket there. So once again, take the magnet, drop that in there with the beveled side first, then put this side in, which goes in with the finished side facing out, and again make sure this is put together so that the stop is in the same place as the opening. So let's bring over the plate now. We need to put this plate into position. Now this does look quite symmetrical, but it's not, because these are off-centered here, so I need to make sure it's round the right way. Just matching everything up here. That's the way this is going to need to be. Then this is going to be going on here like that. This one here is going to be going on here like that, with the stops facing up here. So they are numbered, so you know which one's what. This is number 2. This is going to be going in like that. And I'm holding them in with one of the longer bolts from the other side here. So let's get one in, just like that. So 3 more screws. The amount of metal in this is obviously going to be holding a lot of weight. So that's number 2 in. I'll put number 1 in here again, making sure the stops are in this direction. And there you go. When that's done, that should look just like that. Check the holes. Make sure they're aligned properly, because if you've got it around that way, you've got to take it all apart again. So penultimate stage here, stage 49. Don't think there's much to do in the last 2, although saying that, look, we've got to do exactly the same thing again by making some more here. Oh, this is obviously what's holding those arms in, these spider arms. And that now explains to me why these are made of metal and they're so heavy. So we know how these go together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these together now in the ways that they go. And then I'll come back when it's time to put them onto here. Okay, that's the last screw going in here. This is support 3. This is support 4. So this is what we've done so far. Support 1 and support 2 just there. So we're going to be putting support 3 in now. And that's going to be going on this way with the 3 to my left just there. Once again, it's held on with the long nuts with a split washer on one side. This is a bolt, Wayne. Yeah. All these years, I keep calling nuts, bolts, bolts, nuts. Put a nut in there, and then I'm going to put this bolt through. Or screw, whatever you want to call it. So I'll get number 3 in first. If you find you're losing nuts, it's probably because they're attached to the magnets at the top. And then finally, we're going to put the last one in here, number 4 here. So you can see these 2 are going off sort of in this direction. These 2 are coming off in this direction here. And here you go. This is the last one just going in here. And when that's done, that should look just like that. So the last stage of this pack, and there was a lot to do in this one, wasn't it? I mean, the recording time at the moment is an hour. We've got some rails to put in by the look of it, which we're going to be attaching this to just like this here. So that is how it's looking. Here's the rest of the magazine. Let's get this open. We've certainly come a long way in this pack, haven't we? Okay. So first thing we're going to do is take one of these metal battens here. We've got an arrow pointing up there. We're going to need that arrow because what we're going to do is take this section that we've been working on here, and I'm going to want it this way round. I'm going to be putting this in with the up arrow facing here so I can line up the holes with the 2 holes here and here. And then on top of that, I'm going to be taking this section, do you remember that we had before? And I'm going to be putting this over the top here. Now we have these great big bolts this time, which I'm going to be putting the crimp washer on. I'm going to get this lined up by putting this through the hole that this is going to go in, through the hole here. So it's coming through there, and then that is going to be coming out of the other side here. Now we've got M4 nuts here, which I'm going to be holding this in with. So as you see, it's coming out the other side here. Get that nut in there, and I'm going to want to screw this in. This is going to be a bit tricky. This is going to be one of those things that once we've got one in, I think we're going to be okay. So that has now just screwed in the first one there. Very good. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So again, we need to make sure that up arrow is here. Slide that in. And then once again, we can put one of these really long bolts down here. So it comes out the other side. And I am using the Allen key that they provide this time. I think I need a bit more control now. And then once again, the hard bit is getting a nut over the top. That looks good. And then tightening this up. Keep your finger on the other side there. There we go. That's gone in fine. And then just do the same on the back ones. A lot easier on the back ones, as you can see, because you can access this nut on this side quite easy. It is funny, it's exactly what I said. Just handling this, you can just see how much weight this thing is going to be able to hold. It's going to have no issues at all holding all of those arms. So there we go, this is the last one just going in here now. All we're going to do then is we're going to be hiding a lot of these plates here by putting this over the top here, just like that. It's held in with E-screws from the other side. And to get these in, you're going to have to go through the holes here into the metal. It's going to be a little bit tricky. And there you go, with that in place. Look at that. That's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. This is really heavy, and you can see it needs to be to hold the weight of those arms. But that looks absolutely brilliant, and obviously we worked on that as well. So I'm guessing eventually this is going to be coming into this section like this, so it can hold them from the back, as you can see there. Great build. Absolutely loving this build. If you do want to get this for yourself, have put a link in the video description. I've also got that QR code on the screen. First build of the year done. What do you think of that? Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.